This is the photo roundup for Friday, March 11, 2016. You're watching the photo roundup. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the photo roundup. This week, Canon announced the Canon Rebel T2i. This camera has an 18 megapixel sensor, ISO 6400, and 9 autofocus points. If this sounds like a flashback, it is from about 6 years ago when Canon actually released the Canon Rebel T2i, but it's calling its new Canon Rebel T6 a T6, but really, it's just a Canon Rebel T2i. It has the same 18 megapixel APS-C size sensor, max ISO of 6400, 9 autofocus points. Really, all that has changed in all of this time is a $500 price increase from what you can get a Canon Rebel T2i for, and it now has Wi-Fi that frankly doesn't work all that often anyway. But the most photographers, at least those of you who are listening to this show and already have an entry-level camera and are looking to step it up, have all their eyes trained on the Canon 5D Mark IV or the Nikon D810 successor. And we're all interested to see what happens. Rumors are going everywhere because it's likely that both manufacturers will update these very popular pro-level bodies this year. But so far the rumors are not reliable. These are make-or-break cameras, especially for Canon, but also for Nikon. It has been a long time since we have seen some updates from either one of these. The Canon 5D Mark IV was announced over 4 years ago now, and so it is definitely time for an update. The Nikon D810 was announced in June 2014, but Nikon tends to update a little bit quicker than Canon does, so we're interested to see what happens there. Well, for me, what is most interesting this week is the Fuji X Pro 2. Those who have already placed their orders are already receiving theirs. I got mine, and I've got to say, just in my quick review of this camera, since it was just actually shipped this week to most users, the autofocus is finally comparable, on par with what you would expect to see in a DSLR. I did quite a bit of testing of the autofocus module. Of course, that was the very first thing that I looked at, and I must say that I was quite impressed. In these photos, I had my son kind of riding his scooter, and I would just see how fast it would autofocus. And I tried it with the Fuji X Pro 2. Whoops, it's got a load here on Lightroom, and compared it with Canon DSLR, the 7D Mark II, that's widely viewed as being having very fast autofocus. And I've got to say, the Fuji absolutely held its own. I really couldn't tell any autofocus in continuous difference between the two. And so this is a camera that I am really, really liking. The only thing that I absolutely hate about this camera is it doesn't have the tilting or articulating LCD screen. Drives me nuts that we don't have that. I really just believe that every camera right now should have the tilting and articulating LCD screen. Well, Improve Photography this week, we released Improve Photography TV that you can find right here on the menu on improvephotography.com with tons of video content. You could watch for a month straight on this page. If you want to see Brian and Nick shooting an NFL game and some of the photography tips that they learned there, you got it. Or you can see me shooting in Guilin, China, shooting the cormorant fishermen, or in Chicago doing street photography. We have a ton of content up there for you. Hope you'll enjoy Improve Photography TV. Well, one last thing that I have to throw in the news for this week, because it's big news. I might be wearing a woman's shirt. I've got to get your feedback on this. So this is what my wife bought this shirt for me from Old Navy. I thought it looked decent. And then I went to put it on. The buttons are on the left side, which usually means it's a woman's shirt. It's a large, and it does fit me. It's a little bit tight. I'm usually kind of in between a medium and a large is a little bit tight on this. Buttons are on the wrong side. Old Navy sells clothes to both men and women. I'm going to need some feedback. Should I continue to wear this shirt, or should I put this in the deepest, darkest reaches of my closet and never let it be seen again? Thanks for joining me this week on the Photo Roundup, and we'll see you next week.